Hello, World of Tank Blitzers and future momrads. I'm Littlefinger, and I'm back today to talk about the Russian MS-1. This is a Tier 1 light tank, and you can see here in my garage, this thing is tiny. Let's go ahead and take a look at the setup. I tried this tank both ways. Right here with the 45mm gun, and then also the 23mm auto loader. My preference was with the 45mm gun. It has very good statistics, which I'll get into in a minute. But overall, this tank has a very good shot effective and maneuverability. It is small, which allows you to hide this tank fairly well on the battlefield. It does feel a little bit smaller than my recent review of, slower than my recent review of the Light Tractor, which is still my favorite Tier 1 tank. You can see here the tank, the MS-1, has 160 hit points with 18mm of turret and hull armor. Weight there at 5.8 tons, a speed limit of only 32 kilometers per hour, a rate of fire at 11 rounds per minute, and a fairly high aiming time of 2.5 seconds. Average penetration values are extremely high here at 51, 88, and 12 for armor piercing, APCR, and HE. Average damage there at 55 is very good also. So let's go ahead and take a look at how I have this tank set up. Consumables, you'll see these are set up the same way again. Repair kit, multi-purpose repair kit, and then adrenaline. Provisions, I'm running all three provisions. Standard fuel for increased engine power and turret speed, milk for increased crew mastery, and protective kit for lowering the chance of fire and increasing protection from crew and module repairs. Ammunition, since this gun has really good penetration, you don't need much more other than your standard AP rounds. Equipment, what I found to work the best was enhanced gun lane drive to increase that aiming speed, improve ventilation, which is 5% for your crew skills, and then I kind of tested a bunch and wound up with the binoculars, just because this tank isn't as fast. You're not always gonna be on the front line with this tank. So anyway, let's take a look and see how this tank compares to the other tanks in its tier. Looking at our spreadsheet, we see here that at 160 hit points, this is right in line with the rest of the Tier 1 tanks. Hull armor is slightly above average there, and it is the lightest Tier 1 tank. It also has the smallest engine, which gives it just average speed. It does traverse well, both to the traverse and turret traverse. Moving on to the bottom of this, is the gun is really what makes this tank stand out. You can see there with shell penetration of 51 and 88, it is well above the average, and then the average damage at 55 is also well above average. The downside is that it does have below average rate of fire, and the dispersion is quite high. So and the aim time is high also, so it does lend itself to needing a little bit more patience to play this tank well. If you rush shots, you're likely to miss, and that's standard. We see that all the way up the Russian line. So with that, let's jump into some gameplay. Alright guys, so putting these videos together, I ended up playing 10 battles. I was 5, 4, and 1. Yes, I even had a draw. And I think I might even show you that game in this video here. So anyway, like always, I like to go left. I tell the team that I am going left, and I pursue down to the corner, and I'm watching the mini-map, and I'm looking behind me, and everyone has decided they're going to go different directions. So my best bet here is to just take cover and wait for the red guys to show up, and then adjust my strategy accordingly. So you can see here I'm thinking I'm pretty safe, and I get spotted. So you know, you got to be careful when you get spotted. Best thing to do is to just pull back and to wait and let your camo reset. I think the guy that spotted me moved on, so I want to go ahead here and get in the battle, and so I push forward. I know I have this ridge line that I can drop down if I need to, and you can see the patience here. I'm really waiting for the gun to load and the armor, the dispersion to reduce all the way so that I get an accurate shot. And you know, it just so happens that those last two kills just came out right in front of me. I was kind of fortunate on those ones. And I've hit the adrenaline here just because we've got a couple shots, and not sure that one just totally misses. Get the kill here. And I'm up to 4 kills now, and there's the 5th one. I was kind of just fortunate in the sense that all of those guys were low hit points, and I got the final shot. So they have one guy left, and not much surprise here. He is messing around in spawn. So I'm gonna race there as fast as I can and see if I can't get some damage and my 6th kill. So I spot the guy. Go ahead and stop and wait and get the shots in here. I don't know what he is doing. He's in the corner of the map looking off to nowhere. So anyway, like I said, this was my best game. More fortunate to be in the right spot at the right time than anything else to get 6 kills. I think it was only a tier 1 badge there, 509 damage. So moving on. Okay guys, here we are on another battle, Copperfield. I am the only tier 1 on my team. Speeding it up here a little bit, the entire team flanks around to the water tower. A little bit of crazy driving there. Coming around the corner here, and I like to make sure that I'm protected by these pipes. Nobody spotted, so we push up a little bit further, and I'm gonna go ahead and get behind this bush and protect myself with these pipes. So nobody's been spotted yet. Our team is starting to spread out just a little bit. They're going down into the valley, and so I'm gonna hope that they spot them across the valley, across the base area, and I'm gonna position myself behind this little wall here, which works out quite well. A couple guys get spotted there, and then I'm spotted, but I don't worry about it too much because all I've got is my top of my turret showing, but I don't expect that T2 light to have flanked all the way around like that, and he gets a pretty good shot on me. So that was my bad for not protecting myself. So I'm going to turn around here and kind of ease on out and see if he will show back up. I don't see him. I don't feel like waiting much longer, so I just throw a shot in there. And this whole game kind of goes on like this, where you know, we're about 200 meters. You can see in my view range there, and most of these tanks have a view range of about 200, 210. So with them being behind bushes, I can't see them. So I'm going to put these shots in even though I can't see a tank. And I'm cautious that nobody's going to flank around me, so I go back and check on the T2. And he looks like he is headed back towards his team and doesn't want to come solo around the side. So again, just trying to find some good targets here. That guy drops off and I throw that in there and get lucky. Alright, so this is a typical issue you will see with the Russian guns. Number one, the dispersion there. A couple shots I was aimed pretty good, but they didn't hit their targets. And now I am struggling to find a spot here to get the gun depression down. We are 4 on 4 and they have just gone into the cap. And you can see here the PZ-35 starts spouting out instructions: defend the base. I'm not too worried about it just yet. We have time. So I am working on this T-18, and I don't want to pull out there and wait for my full aim time, so I'm kind of just snapshotting it, hoping for the best. And then pulling back and just trying to stay out of harm's way, so to speak. And there's another one that misses, and I guess that was short. You know, sometimes you just wonder. But now the base is getting 55 seconds. They're over halfway. They probably have 2 guys in there. Seems to be going pretty quickly. I can't get my gun depression down, and Mr. PZ is not doing anything about the base. I am the only tier 1 with the lightest armor, so I hit the turbo boost there and head straight to the base, knowing it's not going to be a good situation for me. Now, I probably should have seen that someone got a shot in on base and the time went down to 25, but I don't. And I make another mistake here by not continuing to the right and using that T-18 carcass as protection. And so I'm getting some good shots in here. Got a bounce there, that was kind of fortunate, but the T2 light is going to finish me off. We are down a tank, and we have found the PZ that sat in the same spot for over 2 minutes. So we are going to award him the I Love My Spot achievement. Congratulations. So I give him a little instruction. Go help. Come on, dude. You've got probably one of the better armors in this game, and you're just sitting there. And now the Chinu there is doing a great job, and he takes out the next 2 tanks to get us a tank advantage. But we had a second. We had 1 minute, and now the clock's down to 40, and Mr. PZ still has not moved. So you can see there's a little bit of frustration, and there's a little bit of stuff that's out of your control when going for the win on these games, which is why it's paramount to your win rate to stay alive and you know, not rely on guys that can't even drive straight to finish off a game. So anyway, the clock runs out, and even though I was the only tier 1, lo and behold, I'm top damage on the team. You know, you're going to run into frustrating games like that. Not a lot you can do, which is why no one out there has a perfect win rate. So, on to the next game. Alright, last battle in the MS-1 here in Fort Despair. You can see I am one of 2 tier 1s in this battle. As we start here, I move to the left like normal. And I watch the mini-map and see how the team disperses and how best to adjust my gameplay based on that. So the BT2 looks like he is charging to the corner, which is good for me because that's where I like to go. So we are in pursuit of him. He spots a couple guys. I get spotted, and so now it's time to be really cautious. I'm hoping that someone would come through the middle there, but they don't. So I'm going to relocate here, and I'm going to go to the other side of this wall. Their whole team has pretty much been lit up now, so it's time to get some shots in. And this was one of the games I played with the auto loader, machine gun, whatever you want to call it. And it does take some getting used to. You can see here I'm just doing it in bursts and trying to let the aim time increase. And right here I reload the gun, so I don't have any targets to shoot at, so I might as well use this time to reload. That's something to keep in mind, guys. You know, if you've only got a couple shells left in your machine gun and you're on the move and there's no targets, just go ahead and reload that, so when you do find a target, you have a full magazine. So this guy comes around the corner kind of aggressively, and because I've reversed in there, I'm able to pull away rather quickly and come back and then finish him off. So right now we're 4 on 4, and this T-18 has gotten himself out into the middle of the field. So I've noticed I've got another tank in front of me, so I turn and look, and the TZ Jag has presented himself, so a quick kill there. And then we go back to the T-18 and see that he has turned around because he has put himself in a field with crossfire, opening up the open field achievement. Congratulations. But meanwhile, their cruiser has been flanking around and taking out our entire team. And this might have been my biggest mistake here on this game. I probably should have gone left and stayed away from this guy. You know, I didn't realize my teammate there was also going to noob it through the valley and get killed. So now I'm one-on-one with this cruiser. You know, I have no hope really. The other guy gets taken out, so now it's 2-on-1. I'm the last guy surviving, so you know, there's no hope. I just want to try to get some more hit points in here and die gracefully, so to speak. And he has a great game. Obviously knows what he's doing, driving that tank real well. You can see when he shot me, he pulled right back so that I didn't have any shots on him. And when we look at the results here, I did 387 damage, and again, I had all other tier 2s in this tank, in this game, and you know, such that it is, it was just a bad team. So anyway, I will be selling this tank quite quickly. So for now, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe. Stay safe out there. Don't get fingered. Littlefinger out.